every facet of the game that you can imagine. And we didn't play well with the intensity that you have to play in an environment like this early on to be able to compete. We broke down some coverages on third down and just things that we continue to do that we've got to coach better. We've got to get better. We didn't take care of the football. You know, our plan was, I think it was a solid plan, but we certainly didn't execute it, which means we didn't do a good enough job preparing our kids to play in this environment.
Questions?
Hugh, this is the third straight game we haven't really been able to run the ball. Chad got sacked 4 times. I guess how much of a concern right now is it for you what's going on up front?
I'm concerned about everything, that being one of them. You know, and we thought we found something at halftime that we said, here, let's do this, and we clicked off 2 pretty good drives, but fumbled, you know, on that next drive, and then from there on, it was pretty much throw it. So, you know, if we were in a tighter game, maybe we could have run it a little better, but we certainly did in the first half. And, you know, we're playing some young kids up there, and that's a really good defensive front. But you know what? Everybody's got some young kids, and everybody's got injuries, and nobody really wants to hear that. And we've got to get the ones we have prepared to play and play better. But Chad was under a lot of pressure. Justin couldn't go, and Javon's ankle was bad. And Rod's shoulder, he hurt us on some pressure where he's not wanting to use his arm. But credit to them, and we got to get our guys better prepared.
I think you might have just kind of answered this there at the end. Is it, in your opinion, is it execution, or is it just guys physically getting beat, or is it a combination?
Well, without watching the film, it's hard to say. We felt like most of the time we just lost some one-on-ones. I thought Chad did a good job tonight of setting the protections in the right direction, but you just kept beat in some one-on-one situations. And you got to stay out of third and long, which is, you know, Hugh was asking if you're balanced and can run it some, you probably stay out of some of those.
Tell about Greer's night.
He was really solid. You know, I hope we have a bunch get the flu next week. You know, they had 21 that got the flu, and Greer had the flu. It might be something we need to look into because they sure played extremely well with it. But I knew Greer was a really good player. They had a good plan. They misdirectioned us early on, slowed us down some, and he played extremely well.
Did you have any feeling that this was coming? Anything that wasn't quite right? Or?
No, really felt like we prepared well. Loved our energy. I was worried about their defensive front for sure. Really needed the game early on to go back and forth a little bit and stay close and let us figure a few things out. But we turned it over and had negative plays. You know, we had a couple positive things going around drive 2 or 3, and we snapped it 20 yards over our head. Before you know it, you're down 2 or 3 scores, and it's a different game.
Did you use Robert and DJ in the goal line package? I missed it.
Didn't. Wish I would have on that first third and one, but we had really felt like we had a good call that would have scored after game plan, and obviously we were wrong.
I know you haven't seen the film yet, but from what you saw from the sideline, what broke down on the goal line on the first and goal where you ended up having to take a field goal?
Well, we went a little speed option to the boundary, and I'll have to watch the film, but it didn't look like our tackle, you know, did the proper assignment.
Coach, it looked like you went more with Judd as the game went on. Was that to improve the pass protection, or what was your decision?
No, Jalen's hurt, and he couldn't go, and I think Coach was just rotating, you know, Akeem and Jordan, and then Eugene got a little time too.
Did the noise inside the stadium affect Kelly's hearing, trying to call the play?
Oh, of course it affects it, you know, but that's the way every place you go in this conference on the road is going to be like that. We've got to learn to play with it.
Did that seem to bother you guys more than Alabama at the beginning, the atmosphere and the environment?
I hadn't talked to the kids. I mean, obviously when things don't go well for you early, it gets louder and louder. You know, whereas in the first game on the road against at Bama, we had some good things happen early, and it didn't get. It was kind of quiet. That's what I just said early on. We needed the game to stay, you you know, kind of back and forth a little bit, and we didn't, and it got out of hand.
Coach, you're down 25-0. You decided to go for the field goal. What were you thinking there?
Well, just thinking, get some points on the board and try to get some momentum, and hopefully we'll get a turnover or so, you know. It would have got it down to 3 scores still, but just really thought we needed some momentum at the time. To come away with nothing would have been extremely deflating. It was deflating enough not to get the 7.
These last 2 games shown how important Tony Connor is to the defense.
Well, no question we miss Tony Connor and Isaac Gross and Laramie and Justin. You know, you miss those guys. But again, that's just part of the game. We've got to coach our guys that we have to get them better. But yes, we miss him a lot. You know, we're playing 2 young kids there that are, you know, when you get into a game and somebody has game planned you and it's not quite what you practiced because they're coaching 2 on the other side, they're struggling a little bit with that.